I'm really excited. Okay. Tomorrow we are going on a very exciting last minute road trip from DC into Virginia. Of course, I had to sneak some family history in there, so my boyfriend thinks we're going on a hike, but we're not. So a little background, if you've watched some of my previous videos or you've followed like the blog posts that I've written, the tutorials that I've done, you probably know that my surname is Buckner, and a lot of the research that I do is on the Buckners, and the Buckners have been a huge brick wall. I've explained this in previous videos, but the big brick wall was linking our Buckner family, who were from Tennessee and Missouri, to the larger Buckner family of Virginia. And if you are from Virginia or you have roots in Virginia, you probably have heard of the Buckners. John Buckner brought the first printing press to the United States in 1681. He got in big trouble for it. Yeah, I'm related to those guys. Anyway, so I'm putting together some last minute research, so I make sure to hit all the family history spots on this trip, and I'm really excited. We're going to Caroline County, Virginia, Port Royal area, and I want to show you something. I have this book here, Colonial Carolina, History of Caroline County, Virginia by T.E. Campbell. If you have colonial roots in Caroline County, Virginia, this is the book. I bought it at a thrift store or an antique store in Fredericksburg. Little known fact, I have an antique store in Fredericksburg that I go to every single time I'm in Fredericksburg because they always have historical, like genealogical books like this. I asked the guy where he got his collection because every time I go in there, there's new ones. And he said that there's just a local guy. I don't know if the guy had passed away and they were buying things from his estate or if he's just actively selling his collection, but he's a local historian and they get all their books from this one guy. So I got this one. I have a few other ones. But see all these little rainbow sticky notes? This is every single mention of the Buckner family in this book. So I'm extremely lucky in that regard. And I'm putting together an Excel sheet to try to get them all straight, because one thing about this family is that there were a million of them. There were a million Johns, a million Phillips. Genealogists who have studied the Buckner family historically get all these people mixed up, and I don't think anyone has ever gotten it right. Apart from a guy named Ben Buckner who did like this huge overhaul of all the Buckner research. He's great, actually. I'll link his stuff down below if you research the Buckner family. And this is the Excel sheet that I've been working on building. So here on the left we have the dates, the names of the people who patented the land, and the description of the land. So literally the first one is just in the vicinity of Port Royal. This one on the south side of the river near the freshes of Portobago Bay. The acreage, and any notes that I have on how the two Buckners are related to each other. So it's a work in progress, and I'm gonna need to find a little bit more descriptions of the lands that were patented because I don't know how I'm gonna map on the south side of the river. But this is what I've been working on so far, and hopefully it gets me somewhere. So I didn't end up mapping out these properties very well. I just didn't have enough information and we didn't have enough time, but we did end up learning a lot at the Port Royal Museum, and the women who worked there were so helpful. Okay, so we just went to the Port Royal Museum, and we're gonna only spend like 30 minutes there, but we were the first people of the entire day to come in, and these two little ladies were so excited to like tell us everything about the museum. And then I told them that my last name was Buckner, and before we left they wanted to get photos with me, and it was really cute. I'm happy. I bought a book there because I just wanted to support the museum. But the lady one of the ladies who was giving us a tour apparently went to church with this guy who was an old historian, and he was the priest of the church? I don't know. So, very small town here in Port Royal. And now we're looking for an old Buckner house. It's apparently on lot 33.
On Caroline Street.
Caroline and King. Cool. That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Lot 32.
This house was built in 1760 by William Buckner, and the Buckner family were the first family to live in it in the 1770s, I think. And it's still standing. That's amazing. The Buckner house was also right across the street from another beautiful old house that apparently John Wilkes Booth attempted to hide in after he shot President Lincoln. There were so many incredible 18th century houses like this one too, which is for sale. They were just so beautiful. These two chimneys are the last things that are standing from the tobacco warehouse that was once here, that is known for being the Roy Tobacco Warehouse, owned by Dorothy Roy, who was famously the first woman entrepreneur in the colonies. But before it came into Roy's hands, it was chartered originally in 1671 by John Buckner.
If you wanted to take a picture of this picture, that shows you what it was like, because the original one was the Buckner warehouse and they bought it.
Dorothy Roy was the daughter of Richard and Elizabeth Buckner. Now, Richard was the son of John Buckner, who originally chartered the warehouse, which makes Dorothy Roy the granddaughter of John Buckner. Now, Dorothy Roy's daughter, who was also named Dorothy, married William Buckner, and that was the William Buckner who built the house. Now, I'm not sure how William Buckner was related to the older Buckners like John Buckner. That's something that I have to figure out as well. Something else that the book pointed out was that John Buckner, who chartered the warehouse, was supposedly from Gloucester County, and supposedly he and his wife, Deborah Ferrers, were the ones to settle on Marlfield, which I visited previously and did a video on. It's an old abandoned cemetery out in the woods. It was really amazing to go visit. I had no idea that this is where the connection between the Port Royal and the Marlfield Buckners were. So now I feel like I've come full circle. I'd like to also figure out how the Yorktown Buckners fit into all of this, because when we visited Marlfield, we also went down to Yorktown, and there are a few Buckner properties in Yorktown, such as Buckner's Mill and Buckner Street, and I just don't know how those Buckners fit into these other Buckner families.